it's Nikki from Two Tribes Primal Living.
And it's me, Albert.
And we're here to talk to you today about some of the things we like out here off-grid and some of the things we miss from home.
There's a quite a contrast between what we had back home and what we have out here as far as amenities and luxuries and even sometimes company. We don't have, I'm gonna let her go over the things as a female. What a female misses being in an off-grid situation.
There's a lot of things I actually do miss, and they kind of pop up periodically, like, oh man, I would really, really enjoy having a good girl conversation right now. I've been very fortunate to have some people who I can communicate with, some females that I can communicate with back and forth that check in on me, and some soul sisters who are like, I'm there with you, even if I'm not physically there with you, and even if I don't answer my text, I am there with you, so just remember that. But having conversation is really, really tough for me, or not having conversation out here is really, really tough for me. There's a lot of solitude and a lot of silence. Even between us, he doesn't have a lot to say, and I guess I don't have a lot to say, but I can always girls to listen to the girl communications, and they just make you feel a little better and supported. And so that's one of the main things as a female. I guess I also miss miss being able to shave my legs. I shaved him in the sink the other day. We went down to the shower. I was going to shower, and we had something come up, and so I got like a 10-second shower. And I've been waiting to shave my legs, my armpits, and I have like rash on my arms, and I cut my legs like 60 different places, and I was bleeding. And so that kind of sucks, because there's no, when I want to shave, I have to wait till I go to the shower to shave. And then if we've got something else going on, I don't get that girl time to, I'm just going to shave today. Another thing I genuinely miss is having clean toes. My toenails, I clean them in the morning. I have no place to wash them in the evening. They are nasty. I try and I walk around. Even when I wear my boots today, I had on flip-flops because we weren't really doing much. But even when I wear my boots, I take off my socks, and I want to wash my feet, and I want to clean my toes. And so that's it's a lot of hygiene, feminine stuff. There's space issues that I do miss. But I guess from a girl's perspective, I miss my son and I miss my mom, but that's neither here nor there. So from a guy's perspective, I'll let him tell you.
Yeah, I'm not so much as a emotional, needy creature as females. I guess I can just kind
Don't take offense.
Yeah, I am not a female, so I don't understand all the female aspects, but I don't need a whole lot of conversation throughout a day. So I definitely don't miss all the jibber jabber that used to go on in my societal life. I guess solitude is, I'm a creature of solitude, so I don't miss interruptions. I don't miss people demanding my time so much.
What do you miss?
That's what I'm trying to get
he
to.
misses nothing.
I'm trying to get to what I do miss, and what I do miss is going to be, a little bit shallow, but there are some things that I miss. Like the hygiene part for me is easy. I'm a guy. I take a bath, I wash my junk, and
we do the same.
keep the stuff clean. I don't need makeup. I don't need a hairdryer. I don't need all the manicures. My hands have always been a disaster. My toes are wrecked all the time because I'm a guy. I don't care about that stuff. I would rather not focus on those things. Those things just don't matter to me. As long as I don't stink and I'm not dirty, I'm good. So, um, I guess what I do miss is certain foods. Um, I mean, I haven't had any lasagna in 2 months. I haven't eaten at a table in 2 months with the space limitations that she's talking about. We don't have a formal table to eat at, and the few times that we have gone into town to eat, you got to eat in your car because you can't go in a restaurant and have a sit-down meal right now. So um, there are a couple of guys from the gym that I actually enjoyed training with. Um, Scott, Mario, Kinch, Abraham, you guys. It was always a pleasure to work out with those guys. Just because it was about training. It wasn't about competition or anything like that with you guys. So definitely miss that. I don't miss noise. I don't miss trains.
I don't miss noise.
I don't miss revving engines. I don't miss crackheads coming in asking if you have a phone they can use or 63 cents they could borrow and they'll pay you back tomorrow. I don't know. I never understood the 63 cents.
I don't miss the noise either. I think that's something we both don't miss.
I don't miss the chaos of society, the chaos of traffic, the chaos of sitting at a red light. It's actually, if I think back and I could get all the time back that I ever spent sitting at a red light or in construction zone or at a train, how much
20,
time would I have in my hands? Right. So I'm no longer wasting my time doing that anymore. So, except for the last couple of days, they were blacktopping the town, the one road. And
we got to meet a really neat guy.
Yeah, he was kind of a traveler, gypsy type.
Working the road construction.
But and that's the other thing I enjoy. I enjoy meeting the people out here because they know nothing about me. I don't miss walking into a store of a town that I lived in my whole life and somebody coming and asking me about a question about my job or something that I absolutely do not want to talk about. I don't miss.
Yeah, here they talk about what?
Just
chickens. They talk about chickens.
And
they
growing
talk about good food and
access to water and things that are meaningful.
You met a guy yesterday.
I met a guy yesterday at the health food store in this little town, and he was an interesting guy, very Christian man, very, very Christian man, totally opposite of me. But we were able to have a meaningful conversation about what's going on in the world and about health, him working at a health food store and understanding the body. I don't recall the last time I had a conversation like that with a human being other than Nikki or a couple of other people that actually found me to be a pleasure of talking about health.
He actually asked you, do you have a medical degree?
Yeah, he asked me, do you have a medical degree? And I'm like, no, I just care about my body and try to help other people.
And you
care
have
about their
knowledge.
bodies. Yeah. So he actually, he's like, you know what? I know there's a whole lot going on in this world right now, but I want to shake your hand.
And they did.
And he shook my hand. He was like, I'm not afraid of no COVID-19 or nothing like that. You're a good man. And that made me feel good. So yeah. I can't remember the last time I heard that coming from, the people that I grew up with or the people who know me. I can't remember the last time somebody just literally reached out and told me, I want to shake your hand. You're a good man. So that made me feel good.
Yeah,
So,
the people here are we kind of got a warning before we came up here that, they're kind of territorial, kind of not very embracing or accepting, and maybe they're putting on a front, but my heart really knows. As an empath, I know people, I sense energies and emotions in people. I know when they're being fake, I know when they're being real, and just like the man yesterday, I mean, there's people, everyone we've really encountered, even the lady today at the feed store. It is just, it's very reassuring, and it kind of puts my trust back into humanity, because these people are genuine people.
They're simple people.
simple
They're
people.
honest, simple people with the quest to be simple. There's no Walmart here. There's no
Look at my romper.
there's
Look at
no
my
big
bling bling.
fancy. I mean, if you see a 4-wheel drive truck here, it's dirty and jacked up,
Except
and it's
for
got
one.
chains hanging all over it, because these people need their 4-wheel drive trucks here.
it's true.
You have to have a 4-wheel drive truck up here, and they're not pretty, so they're not worried about having the prettiest truck on.
There's a few, but I think there's those people everywhere.
Yeah,
we
well,
go.
I mean, they're there, but
Yeah.
those are the people who, they have a dirty, jacked up truck too that they use as a work truck. So all the 4-wheel drive trucks that are up here are necessary, not for show or
They're work trucks. These
Yeah,
people
they're
work. They're driving
absolute-
on country roads, and so yeah, the people. Both of us. I can't speak for him. I can speak for me. I have a general disdain for the human population as a whole, but I do know that we are all connected, and so I do have a respect for the human population as a whole. It's very hard to converse with them or get past the energies we see. And so generally, being out here without people other than the people that are within my circle, it's really, I feel really good whenever we do encounter the
Yeah,
people around
I
here.
haven't had a bad encounter with anybody here. Even this morning there was a little bit of
confusion
confusion up the road on the dirt road that we
on the property.
on the property. Somebody was on the property that didn't necessarily belong on the property, and there was some confusion,
Awkward confusion.
and we were able to just have a conversation
Yeah.
with the gentleman, and he
You
was,
got his number, he got yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it ended up being a good interaction,
He's from
because
Texas.
now he has somebody who can keep an eye on his property while
Right.
he's away, and I have somebody that now, if they need me, they're going to reach out to me soulfully.
Connection.
So it wasn't a bad interaction. It was a good interaction. That I believe in a town setting or in a city setting,
That would have been bad.
it would have been a bad interaction. There would have probably been words, or there probably would have been action taken. But it's being out here. What I do like about it is the simplicity of thing. I'm a simple man. I don't need a whole lot.
The simplicity is nice, even as a woman, whether whether it's a man thing or what. Simplicity of being out here is nice.
Yeah.
Having a routine. We both have morning routines. I get up first. I take my pseudo bath, do my thing. Then he takes his bath, and then we start our day. We either eat, or we go into town, or we get to work. It just depends on what we're doing.
Yep.
So routine has helped us circumvent the things that we don't have, and create this abundance. So we're making the most out of what we do have. But the simplicity of life out here is so refreshing, so engaging, so amazing, that it overpowers everything else, I think.
Yeah, prior to coming out here, I was concerned. I had my share of concerns for her as a woman, because it's like when we were coming out here, we're looking for a hairdryer that didn't pull
I haven't used a hairdryer
6,000 watts of electricity.
You said it twice. I have not used one.
But the story goes, before we came out here, we actually did research on hairdryers
we did.
that drew less wattage than the hairdryer that she
They were 3 times expensive.
used the blue breakers all the time on an electrical grid. So that was one of my concerns was, okay, she's leaving this behind. She's leaving this amenity behind. We still have it. And I did tell her the other day, you can use that hair dryer. I prepared for your hair dryer.
I use the coffee grinder.
And so the inverter that I bought and the amount of solar power that we have, would accommodate her hair dryer. But that's just something that she's like, who am I going to blow my hair for?
I mean, I go into town and the people who are just as simple as us, there's nobody competing. There's no competition, and I don't miss the competition of you guys back home with your fancy eyebrows and your fancy pants and all that. There's a level of competition that comes with living in the city. It's part of it.
Yeah.
And being out here, you don't have that. You have simplicity.
The women out here are real. They are strong, capable women,
respectable women.
And just like the woman who works at the co-op. She's. We went in to go get peanut butter today. Because I get to eat peanut butter sandwiches now. I never it's been 20 years since I had a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Peanut butter on sprouted grain.
So I'm enjoying the peanut butter. Usually I eat expensive almond butter and cashew butter and stuff like that, but
can't afford it.
Well, it's not available.
No, occasionally maybe.
It's not available, and it's not within our budget because we're not out here with a bankroll of investment or a retirement or anything like that. So everything we do, we have to budget for. We're not making money on these videos or anything like that. We're not making money. Period.
So
we came prepared.
We ate peanut butter. I mean, and anyway, good peanut butter, but natural. But we went in, and the lady, we asked her how her day off was because they changed their hours. And she's like, I hadn't done laundry in a month and a half, and I had to get up on the roof and put down some netting or something on there, and had to deal with she has 400 chickens.
400 chickens.
400. I have 24.
And she works a full-time job.
And she works a full-time job. Runs a full-time farm with, I think she said 4 greenhouses. I can't remember, 4 or 5 greenhouses.
She doesn't have time for.
I don't think she's married.
Yeah, she doesn't have time for the manicures and the pedicures and the day spas and all
makeup,
that stuff. She's just she's a real person, a real woman that, it's like, wow,
But she carried a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, she's
That's
wise
what I could go to her when I talk to her. I'm like, what about this? And she'll give me information on the chickens. Or what about this? I was telling her something about my iron levels out here, and she was giving me information on what I can do. And that comes with everybody so far.
Yeah.
That we've.
Yeah,
encountered.
Everybody has shared wisdom with us.
Yeah.
And it was something that was far in between. With like I said, few exceptional people that were part of our consistent tribe, group, whatever you want to call it. But for the most part, it's even the kids that work at the feed store.
Well, they're teenage boys, they're engaging.
Yeah, they're not on their phones looking at their phones and acting like you're bothering them. They're genuinely there to help you.
Yeah.
And
they talk to you, and it's like.
So it's not like you have some techie kid working at the feed store who doesn't want to be there. These guys are actually working there because they take pride in it. They actually engage in helping people out. So
people, we don't really miss the noise, and a lot of the people, the bolus of humanity, but we do miss certain people. What else do we miss out here? He touched on certain foods. I do have to say I miss having refrigeration right at my fingertips. And I miss, we have refrigeration, so I'm not saying we don't, but it's not at our fingertips. And so when I want a little snack, I either have to cook something, or I have to have peanut butter, which I don't mind. Peanut butter, banana, and honey has become like a staple out here.
Corn chips and salsa, blue corn chips and salsa.
I had popcorn and beef broth today for my snack. So, being able to reach in the fridge and open up a yogurt. I want some yogurt. I want some of those delicious banana pancakes. But I have to go to the yurt and get the fridge ingredients and take them back to the cabin, and I can't leave them in the cabin, so I got to take them back. And so it's a process. So it's like, screw it, I'll just have peanut butter and banana.
Yeah, but you know, me, like I said, I'm a simple creature. I don't, I adapt pretty well. You know, it's just not as difficult for me because, you know, women are different than men.
I miss having
different.
an end table beside my bed so I can put my stuff in. I am tired of seeing all my stuff. I want a drawer to close it in. So I do miss that. I miss having.
As you see, my list of things to do is getting longer and longer here. And it's kind of what I wanted to do this video, because if I ask, hey, is there anything we need, or is there anything you would like, it doesn't just come out as you know what, I need an end table. So
Brandy and Joe, he's flying you up here.
Yeah, I need some help building stuff.
And I need my girl.
But it's
Kidding. I mean, I do.
It's everything out here is a process.
Yeah, it is.
And you know.
But it's rewarding.
Yes, and that's my point. It is a process out here, but the trade-off for the fast,
so great,
instant now hustle and bustle of things. I gotta go to the store now, and I've got to go get this, and I've got to go get that, and you know what? I don't have time to cook. Let's just run and grab something. You know, that's out the window. We can't do that out here. We're not like that. You know, even before that, you know, we didn't eat fast food or anything like that. We might engage in a sandwich, from you know, the healthier options of establishments, or you know, a steak or something like that, where you can go in and have some
Thai
steaks
food.
and seafood.
I miss Thai food.
You know, seafood is something we don't have access to up here.
Or chicken. It's hard to get chicken up here. You would think, wow, eating chickens. We can't. We haven't. We had to drive an hour to get eating chicken meat, and we couldn't get any good chicken.
So food.
Food is different. We're learning.
I'm loving the fact, you know, as I continue to return to it, is the tranquility, the peace, the quiet.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't hear man-made sounds unless something's wrong out here, unless somebody is out here that doesn't belong out here, or we go into the small town to go get supplies. I don't hear any of those distractions, and it's not like somebody can just knock on our door out here and
if they do, they're gonna have a nice surprise
and ask us if we've heard about the Book of Mormons or something like that. So that's not going to happen here.
No.
But overall, you know, the contrast of things that we had available to us in living in the city, living on the grid, with
but the trade-off for that, we were stressed.
Yeah, I was absolutely stressed.
We were stressed. I was stressed.
I was absolutely stressed.
And I would do what I could every day, and there was probably a lot more meaningless, not that our conflict here is meaningful, but more meaningless conflict back there, because we were always stressed. Either he was stressed and I wasn't, or I was stressed and he wasn't, or we were both stressed, but it was rarely were we not. And usually when neither of us was stressed was when we were taking our trips to California or taking our trips to Arkansas, or the Grand Canyon. That's when we weren't stressed. Out here, we've transformed our life into our trip to California, our trip to Arkansas. And the little stress we have is really residual stress left over from that life. It's not relative to out here. It really is not. If he gets fussy about something, he's got something going on up here. If I get fussy about something, I got something going on up here. And so that's the stress that's created. But as a general rule, we don't.
It's like
we don't have stress.
And this is the best way I know how to explain it. You watch a movie, and you get all emotional about the movie. that movie's got nothing to do with you. That movie's got nothing to do with the reality around you. That movie has nothing to do with your past. It has nothing to do with your present, and it has nothing to do with your future. But it messes with your emotions. And when your emotions are messed with, your brain gets messed with. When your brain gets messed with, your soul gets messed with. Out here, you don't have those artificial emotional stimulations. Everything out here is real. Everything out here is absolute.
And it's now.
And it's in the moment.
In the moment.
There is no artificial stimulation unless we get on social media and somebody's ranting about something that we said or something that I said or something, and I still don't get emotional about that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's your problem. That's the reflection of me and your soul that is conflictual with you. Just as if, but and you don't have those artificial emotional stimulations. And you wake up in the morning and it's a beautiful morning. You feel that beautiful morning.
You do.
When you go to bed and it's windy at night and you're like, "Sheesh, did I secure everything before I came?"
Oh crap! I left the plants up.
You feel that you have to get up and you have to tend to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to tend to it the next day, and it's going to be much worse. So every emotional response out here is absolute
In
and
the
real.
present,
Right
there.
So the TV, the stimulation, the
I
problems.
don't miss TV.
Yeah, the problems that people walk in with. When we had businesses back in society, we had businesses and people would bring their emotional baggage with them. They would bring their emotional day. So if they had a bad day at the Taco Bell or at the Burger King, guess who they're going to come and think is an extension of that bad experience. They're going to take it out on you.
So we either had to calm that down or respond to it and we did sometimes with bad to bad. We weren't always. You can't always be a boundary and a buffer for somebody else's bad day.
So I don't miss those interactions. I'm actually enjoying the lack of those interactions. So what I thought I was going to get out of this is not what I thought I was going to get out of it. It's so much more. And we've only been out here 2 months, and we have this whole summer to get through, and then going into fall, and then back into winter. And it's the cycles of nature, the rhythms of nature that now I get to experience and explore, which back
So
home,
everything tranquility then.
Yeah.
When we talk about tranquility and peace, I'm a full moon person. I'm a moon cycle person. And the moon is so much more amazing out here, so much more peaceful, awe-inspiring. I have been reduced to tears several times out here. Not that I'm an overly emotional person, I just sense emotion and I feel emotion. And as we're walking, I see some mountains with snow on them, and it's like, I can't even take a picture and show you guys what this looks like.
It doesn't do any justice.
It doesn't do it any justice, and I'm just like reduced to tears of awe. Same with the moon. Oh my gosh, Albert, you've got to see this moon. He grabs the camera. He's up on the roof taking pictures for me. It's still only maybe 60% of what you experience. The sun rises, the sun sets. All of these things are awe-inspiring, and they've reduced me, like I said, to emotional levels of tears, and I don't know, it's just pure. It's pure.
So there's still
peace,
things,
nature, tranquility.
like she's saying, there's still things out here that I don't miss the lack of recreation back from where we came from. There's so much recreation out here that I haven't even touched the tip of it yet. There's so much to think about. It's like, I want to go do this, but then I want to do that. And once I start with that recreational move, it's done. Looking at the stars is something I still have not done out here. The sky is so big out here that I have not been able to do that. So it's still cold at night, but I just want to lay out there at 4 o'clock in the morning and look at the stars and go, wow. But we're going to go ahead and wrap the video up. And, like, subscribe. We just wanted to spend a little time talking about what we miss and what we don't miss, what we appreciate and what we don't appreciate. So comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think.
Bye.
Take care.